So after doing a live stream about the end to the She-Ra animated series on Netflix, I thought I'd look at the other animated series on Netflix as well. And this has been reported last year in August from the user PixelDan. And it's about He-Man, Master of the Universe Revelation. And this is being done by the showrunner of Kevin Smith. And this is just an announcement. Here's a poster, and here's the actual synopsis. So we have all these characters returning from the 80s series. He-Man, Orko, Cringer, Man-at-Arms, Skeletor, Evelyn, Beastman, and all the other legions of Snake Mountain. But after a ferocious final battle, Forever Fractures Eternia, it's up to Teela to solve the mystery of the missing Sword of Power in a race against time to prevent the end of the universe. Her journey will uncover the secrets of Grayskull at last. This is the epic He-Man and the Masters of the Universe saga fans have waited 35 years to see. Now, that sounds like it's focusing on the character of Teela, who's going on a journey. And it's like, okay, so maybe this is kind of like a side character taking the role of the primary character, or a side character as protagonist discovering and finding what happened to the mystery of the main character, who is He-Man. After all, it's called He-Man, Masters of the Universe. So that could work. Eventually, though, you'll want the protagonist to switch to He-Man. So you want to make that journey that she's going on, and then to have a secondary plot with the journey that the character is going on. So a person is searching for a hero or searching for a character to become the next hero of the story. And that should have its own journey with it. So you're telling two stories, which is more difficult than telling a normal story, which should already have two stories of the protagonist versus the antagonist. So this is interesting, and to pull it off, you have to know what you're doing. So this was reported a year ago in August. And just recently, he's still defending it because PixelDan is a big fan of all sorts of animations and cartoons and what have you. So not too many people are happy with the synopsis just because they think it's all about Teela. So he's like, hey, how many of you that are trying to get pretty mad about this even realize that Teela is the daughter of the sorceress, is destined to become the new sorceress, defender of the secrets of Grayskull, and arguably one of the most important characters. So he's like, hey, who cares? It's He-Man, and it's about Teela. It's going to be awesome because he loves it. He loves cartoons. Good on him. He likes it. The rest of us are like, wait a second, this isn't a story about He-Man. What's going on? So Kevin Smith tuned in 2 months ago. He's saying, listen, as showrunner, I really could have used these story suggestions before we locked the scripts. However, no. He-Man does no stepping aside, and Teela has no girlfriend in our show. The storyline is pretty dark and way metal. Before Revelation, we were calling it End of the Universe. So the storyline is pretty dark. That's kind of strange for a kid's story, for a kid, like definitely a Saturday morning cartoon style show. But we have to look at the animation studio. We find it's done by Powerhouse, who are the same guys who did the Netflix Castlevania series. So if they are doing mature content, they are certainly going to show it, and they're going to animate it. So that would be pretty cool. That's kind of like what we wanted to see, a more adult version of He-Man. So, great, we're going to get that. But he's not denying the fact, or rather he is trying to defend that, no, this is a story about He-Man. He has no stepping aside. And it's all in response to Clownfish TV, who did a video back in March as well, with an insider person on the project saying, Teela is a better He-Man than Adam, and he steps aside to let her and her girlfriend take over hero duties. So what Clownfish is trying to explain is that Teela gets the powers of He-Man or becomes a better He-Man than Adam or Prince Adam. Remember how Adam transforms into He-Man. So this is stretching it. Are we talking about Adam as He-Man or Teela as He-Man? This is going to piss off a few people because we're expecting the classic Prince Adam becoming He-Man. So this might not be copacetic with everyone who's fans of the 80s show. Kevin Smith continues on replying to himself. Also, real Clownfish TV, instead of posting your faux insider info, here's a real story. Mattel made a behind-the-scenes video featuring our actors recording. So a fan took some of the Mark and Lena's dialogue and spliced them into old Filmation clips. Look, so someone made this video and put them all together, and sadly, that video has been taken down. Now, what he's referring to are the actors in the show. And if you don't know who he said Mark, he was referring to Skeletor, or Mark Hamill's playing as. So you have Chris Wood as Prince Adam He-Man, Sarah Michelle Gellar as Teela. That's going to be different. Liam Cunningham, Man-at-Arms. That's awesome. Lena Headey. All right, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Lena Headey, who was Cersei Lannister. A whole bunch of folks I don't know. Alicia Silverstone is Queen Marlena. Stephen Root. Wow. Lots of big names here. Kevin Conroy is Merman. So there's all sorts of other characters or actors here. So it sounds like a big production. It sounds like an adult version they're in. It's not just a kid's show. So interesting stuff. I don't know what it's going to be about, though. If we have Teela transforming into He-Man, oh boy, it's going to piss a lot of people off. If they're going to have Teela as a side character who's kind of playing second fiddle, that could work. It's just going to be strange when you have so many plot lines running through the story. It's going to be confusing. So there has to be at least 13 episodes maybe to get the build-up going, and then you'll have to have a second season. Very slow build-up, very similar to Castlevania, how it takes a long time to build stuff up. But now we have so many actors and so many characters that this is going to be a very slow burn. And I'm not sure that's going to be a very good technique for storytelling, because you want to have things work quickly and succinctly. And this is going to be a bit messy, it seems. But hey, Kevin Smith is confident. He apparently knows what he's doing. I can't really grade him on his animation writing credentials. I don't know. But it's curious. I'm very curious what's going to happen with He-Man, because it's a very niche product of the 80s, which then became its own movie, and then it became redone in early 2000s, I think. So to get bought out by Netflix and then be made into something is kind of cool. If they can do it with Castlevania, an obscure side-scrolling NES game, or start it in the NES world and turn it into a fantastic experience, maybe they could do the same for He-Man. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm not too sure myself, but I'd love to know what you guys know about Kevin Smith and animated stories and writing for that. That'd be great to know. Thanks for listening. Have yourself a great day.